Hello, it's Emma here, coming to you with your tarot and oracle card reading of the day. If this found you, please trust it's for you. If not, leave it behind for the person it's for. Okay, I'm going to jump straight in with the Moonology Oracle deck. So the first three cards that came out of this deck were your commitment is being tested, work through your fears, and your hard work is paying off. Okay, so this reading is very much directed at my leaders. It's very much directed at those who are forging down a new path, a path they've never been down before, okay? There is some residual fear about this new beginning, which is very, very natural. So at the minute, these fears are arising, and they're arising for a reason, okay? They're arising to be assessed. You're being invited to explore your shadow, to see if there is anything else that really needs addressing as you move forward into your new beginning. And it's very important to do this because obviously you want to make sure that the path that you're moving down is sustainable. And if you haven't addressed those shadow aspects that kind of kept you in karmic cycles, in karmic relationships, then this new beginning won't be sustainable. Okay. With this, your commitment is being tested card. I believe I'm very much talking to people who have made a firm decision that they're moving in a different direction. However, you may be presented with certain obstacles in your external reality, certain obstacles coming up emotionally that you need to work through. Okay, it's essential for you to work through this. When these fears arise, when these emotions, these heavy emotions, this negativity, when it comes to the surface, welcome it, accept it with love. Try and see it for what it is it wants to show you about yourself, what it wants to teach you, okay? Because this knowledge will be invaluable to you as you move forward. We have a bit of confirmation from the universe here for you. You've been working very hard, okay? And the the new moon in Capricorn, tells us that this hard work is paying off. Okay, you're moving in the right direction. Do not let these residual fears that are coming up make you believe that you are not moving, that you're trapped in the past, and that this can't be worked through, because it very much can. It very much can, okay? Moving on to the Healing Waters Oracle deck, I pulled two cards for you from this. The first we got was Cosmic Ocean. This has appeared a few times in the readings that I've done. It says current dreams, future realities, and new beginnings. Okay, so this collective is nurturing a dream. It's nurturing a need or want to go after something. It can be different for everybody, okay? But you're very much focused on your future. You're focused on this new beginning. I feel a lot of you can probably feel it coming in. And this is the reason that you're guided at this moment in time to look at your shadow and to kind of try and to work through these residual fears that are going to be propping up for you, to prove that you're ready. You know, you're ready for this path. We also got the Selkie, come out of hiding, embrace who you really are. A stunning card. And I have the book here because there was a little story in the book about this card that I'd love to share with you. I think it very much relates to the reading. Bear with me one moment. Selkie. Selkie, okay. So, the story goes, a man finds a Selkie woman on the beach. He steals her skin, without which she cannot return to the sea. He hides it and convinces her to become his wife. The Selkie woman feels the ocean calling to her deep within and yearns for it daily. The couple lead a normal human life and have children, but eventually the Selkie finds her hidden skin and returns to her home in the sea. So this new beginning, I feel it's very much to do with a personal transformation. It's to do with embodying the true essence of who you are. We've spoke about this previously. And not allowing yourself to live in accordance with the will of others. Not allowing yourself to make yourself small, to pretend that you're something different to what you are. Okay, because I'm talking to my leaders here, and to be a leader, you know, you have to be different. If everybody was the same, then we would never make any progress. There'd never be any strides. And with this Selkie card, I believe it's asking you to embrace your unique gifts, embrace who you are, the uniqueness of who you are. Do not allow yourself to become trapped in somebody else's story, in somebody else's narrative of life, okay? If the sea calls to you, if something calls to you, answer the call. Don't pretend to be human when you are spiritual, you know, when you're so divinely connected. Don't be so grounded by the 3D and the earthly world that you reject this connection, that you reject this calling, okay? We also picked 2 cards from the Literary Witch Oracle deck, and I thought that, excuse my washing machine, I thought that these 2 cards were very, very relevant. The first we got was Mirabai. And Mirabai was a princess in India, and she wrote lots of poetry, and the poetry was quite romantic, and it was all devoted to the Lord Krishna. And this princess's family were not very happy with this devotion to Krishna. They believed that she should be carrying out her duties as princess, you know, but she was very much occupied by her own calling, by her own internal instinct to devote herself to something that other people did not quite understand, could not quite see, could not quite fathom. And this is very relevant for you guys. I believe, you know, you're that Selkie in that story. You're different, you're unique. The people around you might want to try and crop you into their own narrative and make you follow this intrinsic way of life, and because that's all they've known. But your path is very different. Your path is a path of devotion to the divine, okay? We also got this doll card coming up, which also speaks of the past. It speaks of childhood. Childhood trauma really is kind of what's sticking out to me here. Obviously we also got work through your fears. So this is very much to me speaking of residual trauma from a life that you're leaving behind that is now coming to the surface, to be faced, to be accepted, and very much so to see, not just for the universe to see your progress, but for you to see your progress as well, for you to see how much of your shadow you've integrated, okay? And I believe that, you know, this collective I'm talking to has done a lot of shadow work, and this is something that's been very relevant to them moving on to this new beginning, okay? I didn't mean to take this many cards from the deck, but these all fell out. So from the Spirit Animal Pocket deck, we have the first card, which is the octopus. Now, what's really standing out to me about this card is the fact that this guy's going a little bit crazy. You know, he's got a lot on his plate. He's trying to give in every direction. And I believe that this is a previous energy. I believe this is the karmic cycle that you're closing out, is this idea of giving and giving and giving and giving. And I think this octopus, obviously octopuses are very wise, they're very intelligent. And this could be how people see you. And because people have seen you in this way, they've come towards you for advice, for knowledge, and you're very happy to give that advice and that knowledge because, you know, it's part of your purpose here on earth. But without some sort of balance, without discernment, this can become a imbalanced energetic exchange, okay? Where you are giving and giving and giving and receiving so little in return that it's making you feel empty. I feel this is very much a representation of how you have behaved in the past, and the cycle that you're trying to break, okay? We also got the back card, which, speaking about integrating shadows, to me this is very much the death card in the tarot. It talks about massive change. It also talks about what lurks in the dark, okay? So at this time, despite the fact that, you know, your hard work is paying off, we know that, we've got direct confirmation of that, but part of this is being open at any point to experiencing the shadow self, to accepting the lessons that you can receive from the shadow self, and really turning inwards and making sure that your internal mindset and your internal landscape is aligning with the 3D reality that you're envisioning for yourself. We also got the Lizard card. Now, the Lizard is a master of sensory perception. So I'm speaking to people who are very gifted in the sensory. This could be clairaudience, could be clairsentience. But this Lizard card speaks to me of a person who is very gifted in these realms. But despite this person will feel the need at some point or another to return inwards, to return to a solitary state, because the more they are around outside, seeing things in this way, absorbing the world in such an intense way, it can be exhausting. It can be absolutely exhausting. So I feel you are being called at this moment to observe how far you've come, observe your gifts, observe how you might have misused these gifts to your own detriment in the past with this perception and overgiving. Okay. We also got the Cosmic Egg, which is a wonderful card. We're in the year of the snake. The snake is very relevant right now. It talks about shedding your skin, shedding your past realities, moving forward, completion, really. And with this card, it's speaking to me of a Kundalini awakening, which is kind of the unwinding of the consciousness, of the spiritual consciousness up through the chakras. And I do believe that the people watching this video are experiencing a rebirth, a spiritual awakening of sorts, and that is what is leading them down this new path. Now, we can kind of make the mistake of thinking that we've processed all there is to process, but a lot of the time when we experience deep trauma in childhood and through early life, we can squash this very far down. Okay, so you've potentially dealt with the bulk of it, but there are some feelings that have been squashed so far down that are kind of surfacing now because, you know, the rest has been cleared. So it's coming to the surface. Do not be afraid of this. This is only helping you towards your awakening, towards your uncoiling. We also got the wolf, okay? This card to me, this wolf looks very proud. He's surrounded by fire. It gives me this idea of personal power. Now, we both know that wolves can be pack animals, but they can also be very solitary creatures. So I believe this is a balance between giving, a balance between having kind of external community, external communications, and being able to retreat to your inner world, to gather yourself, to gather your energy, because your energy is quite intense and it needs to be protected. Okay, it's about self-preservation. It's about protecting yourself. Okay, moving on to the tarot now. So the first card that I got from the tarot deck was the Six of Swords in reverse. So the Six of Swords talks about moving into calmer waters. In reverse, we're talking about emotional baggage. We're talking about things propping up that that have been deep down, you know, as you're moving forward on this new journey. Just bear with me 1 second. Don't want to keep listening to that. Okay. So this emotional baggage that may be propping up, it's very significant at the minute. But we did also get the King of Cups. So this is somebody that's very in tune with their emotions. They're a leader. They're intuitive. They receive messages directly from the divine, okay? This is your current energy. This is where you're sitting. And I believe that when these things come up, I don't think it's going to be very difficult for you to transmute this stuff, to alchemize this stuff for your highest good, because you're already in that leadership position. We also got the Hierophant in reverse. This is a group of change makers. It's a group that defy tradition. It's a group that marches to the beat of their own drum and forges their own path. This rejection of tradition is very much a leadership quality. Following this path that other people haven't followed is a part of your journey, okay, with this Hierophant card. We also got the Six of Cups. Now it makes sense with the Doll card coming up as well. Refers to the past, refers to nostalgia. So you may be at this time being called to observe the shadow aspects of your past, of the past scenarios you were in, and it's a nice card. It's a very nice looking card. I believe this is kind of about acceptance of the past, acceptance of the roles that people have played to get you to the point that you are now. Because without these lessons, without these karmic cycles, you never would have been able to step into this new beginning and to step into your power, because this taught you what you were. It taught you about yourself. It brought you closer to the divine, closer to spirit. Okay. We also had the Nine of Wands. So the Wounded Warrior card, I believe there's a direct correlation between these two cards. I feel perhaps you do feel quite beaten up. You do feel you've come a long way, you know, you've been through a lot of difficult scenarios, but I feel this is in direct relation to the past. The past has left you feeling bandaged and bruised. But you have a lot of courage and you have a lot of persistence, and it's not something that you're willing to give up on with this King of Wands energy. So we're very much embodying this leadership, embodying this passion, new creative pursuits, new creative ideas.